festive greeting to you all. First of all, I'd like to thank Lucy for nominating me for the Pass the Baton Challenge. Right, from the Setting the Scene module, one of the key things I've learned is the Honey and Mumford learning style. How I apply this on my role is I've got one of the new starters to do an online learning quiz. The results showed he was pragmatist and a reflector. And I've also took him out to the doors, and I've tailored my coaching according to his learning style. So the way I did this is I've knocked few doors and let him absorb me, answered any questions or any query, and then let him knock few doors. And again, we took a break, asked any question, answered his queries. And we did that for an hour. We switched for an hour. And I felt that because I've tapped into his learning style, this has absorbed a lot of the learning towards him and helped him memorizing for future knocking. Thank you all for listening, and I'd like to nominate Adil for the next Pass the Baton Challenge. Thank you.
First of all, thanks Liam for nominating me for Pass the Button Challenge. Right, from setting the scene, I found my own learning style, which was reflector activist. I always hold my ideas back in my mind and I never expressed it, and I just observe other people. So these were my weaknesses. But after the session, these have become my strength. I also try to learn other learning style as well. At the moment, I've got 2 new starters. I've gone through a learning style quiz with them and found one of them theorist activist and the other one is pragmatist theorist. Both of them possesses different learning style. Therefore, I've chosen a 70-20-10 approach. I've taken them on the field and explained things by adapting their learning styles. I've also created a WhatsApp group where we are sharing experiences on day-to-day basis. If anyone have got issues, we share on the group and we just try to give them a solution for their issues. I'm also sharing YouTube videos which help them as well, and also I'm collecting topics from VM academies and sharing the group as well, which they are finding very useful. In future, I'm planning to call my experienced colleague who's going to come onto the group and share his experience, which I believe going to help them developing their skills on the job. Thanks for listening. In the end, I would like to nominate Robert for this challenge. Thanks.
Method, and it's analysing your learning style, so with the way that you coach, and also help you understand other people when you're out in the field. Okay. So I'd like to ask you some questions. First question would be, say the first thing that comes into your mind, but what you're most like. Okay. So I find it easy to meet new people and make new friends. Yes. Okay. I'm cautious and thoughtful. I get bored easily. No. I'm a practical, hands-on kind of guy. Yeah. I like to try things out for myself. Yep. My friends consider me a good listener. Yep. I have a clear idea of the best way to do things. Yep. I enjoy being the centre of attention. I'm a bit of a daydreamer. Yep. I keep a list of things that I like to do. Yes. I like to experiment and find the best ways to do things. I prefer to think things out logically. Yes. I like to concentrate on one thing at a time. People sometimes think of me as shy and quiet. Yep. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I am enthusiastic about life. I would rather get the job done than keep talking about it. I often notice things that other people miss. No. I'm act first, then think about the consequences later. No. Okay. I'd like to have everything in its proper place.
Yes.
I ask lots of questions. I'd like to think things through before getting involved.
Yeah.
I enjoy trying out new things. And the last one is I like the challenge of having a problem to solve. Okay, so no, that question. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to analyse these questions, come back with what you want the most like, and then we'll review that. If you want to get to
Yep.
coffee in the meantime,
Yeah.
all right.
Hey everyone, Happy New Year to you all. It's Andy. Just want to say thank you so far for all the help I've had on the Evolution course, especially from Lucy, Steve and Anna. All the feedback I've had, it's all been positive and it's all been very, very good and quite inspiring, so thank you. Just to put into practice some of the things, we obviously learnt about the honey and Mumford. So basically I applied that to one of my colleagues, Phil, who's just started working on the doors, and we used it and we found out that basically he's a pragmatist, and obviously he likes to sort of have a plan in place before he kicks off. So what we did, we put his monthly target down, and instead of giving him a big piece of pie and saying there you go, try and hit a big number, we broke it down into weekly segments, daily segments. So when Phil kicked off, he sort of roughly knew where he was from day one, and he said that was a big help to him. The other thing I wanted to sort of look at is we did the 70-20-10 on there as well, and we put that into practice. Me, Matt and Mark did we went on the Eve course on the open day, and we sort of did a training session in the office with our manager Mark Thomas, who said it was very, very good, and we applied the 70-20-10 on the basis that obviously people like experience and hands-on. So we got all the guys sat around the table, and rather than sit in front and just waffle on, we sat among the guys and opened up the iPad and we gave out handouts, and we went through all the different apps and made sure that everybody understood them. And we used the 20 side of it, so that when the guys were there, if they had any questions, they could ask ourselves or each other. And the feedback we got was really, really good, and we feel that the guys picked up quite a lot from that. And then moving forward, my manager, I've agreed with him that obviously I'm going to take some team meetings next year as a way of moving forward, and also host potentially the weekly conference call now and again as well. And just really keep on doing what we've been doing, really. I'm really buzzing from this course, getting quite a lot of good positive feedback from the trainers, Steve, Lucy and Anna, absolutely brilliant, and enjoying the buzz off my colleagues as well, seeing them enjoying it. And I think it's onwards and upwards in 2019. And I now nominate.
The year for us to be champions. On my video, I'll be talking about my experience from the course and what I got from it. First of all, I want to say how amazing the course was that day. Meeting all you incredible people, coaching staff, and also just being on the actual course itself. Looking forward to what the future can bring regarding the course, and how we can implement what we learn in the course into our day-to-day jobs and also in other areas of our lives as well. So yeah, looking forward to that. What I got from our first session was, the thing that stuck out for me was the learning styles module that we did. For me, understanding my learning style has actually made me realize a lot of things about myself, and how I have been conducting myself and how I take things on. It's easier to know yourself, but putting into words is another thing. but using the learning styles. So my learning style is I'm a pragmatist. So I like to, grab the bull by the horns, get on with certain things. Also need to have an idea of what we're doing and make an informed decision before I do it. I also like to involve others into making the decisions that I make, which is me in a nutshell. Also, what how it's going to actually help me moving forward is I'm able to better prepare myself when I'm at work, especially when it comes to like targets, which is one thing I've actually taken away and I've been doing recently, is actually breaking down my targets on a weekly basis, monthly basis, and also quarterly as well. It's all about being confident in my work, and also thinking forward as well in terms of like how I'm going to approach each customer, how I'm going to approach each scenario, which is what we all need, doing the job that we do. We need to make sure that we're always ready and on our toes and able to handle all situations. And for me, knowing my learning style, I know it's going to help me moving forward. So yeah, just a short, sweet snippet. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of the course, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks' time. I would like to nominate Monsieur Hamza.
Thank you, James, for passing on the baton to me. I'll make sure I carry it with pride. And now, first of all, I'd like to thank every one of you who organized the Evolution course for us and the first session. It was a blast. I really enjoyed myself. It's better than I expected. I'll be honest with you, I was expecting a lot of writing, a lot of reading, but you proved me wrong. So hands up to you, Lucy and Stephen. Thank you for that. Have a good day. Sorry, that's a customer.
It's $1 million man, bro.
$1 million man.
It's $1 million man.
So, what have I been doing since we left Birmingham? So I've been really following the 70-30-10. I'm joking, Stephen. I got it right this time. 70-20-10. 70-20-10. So for my 70, I've been doing a lot of video interviews with my colleagues, Azad, Maria, and others. Okay. Hey.
Habibi, I love my country. Huh?
I didn't disturb you.
Back to the guy.
I love my country.
Okay, back to you. Guys, ignore them, okay? So, back on topic. So, for my 70-20-10, for my 70, I've been doing a lot of interviews with my colleagues, and
I love my country.
Okay. So, yeah, 70-20, back on topic. I'm not gonna delete this. So, yeah, so 70-20-10. 70 was, I was doing a lot of video interviews, and I've interviewed my manager. I made him do the Honey and Mumford activity sheet, and they managed to find out their learning methods. One of my close colleague, friend of mine, Azad, was actually doing the recording. Say hi, Azad.
Hey guys.
Yeah, so he basically found out that he's a reflector, and one of the things that he wanted to do was to change from being a reflector to more of an activist. So, and I found that fascinating. Also, I learned that this from Stephen, that having a team full of terrorists does not make sense, because it's going to be a headache to deal with. So it gave me an incline on how I want to run my team. So I'll have a mixed team of reflectors and so on. For other things I've done is I interviewed my manager, Abdulaziz, and I scrutinized him. I put him on the spot, and he managed to answer all my questions perfectly. And honestly, I was very impressed. So hats off to him on that. In regards to my 20%, I'll get that one day, Stephen, I promise. So in regards to my 20%, we've got the group WhatsApp. Again, I know a lot of people mentioned this, but the group WhatsApp is an amazing feature having it. It's on the spot. So as soon as I need help, I can jump on there, and all these guys are ready to help and eager to help me. So thank you guys for that. I also got my family and friends who are supporting me a lot with that. And for my 10%, I've been doing a lot of Googling and a lot of reading. So I've been recapping on like the Honey and Mumford theory and how to perfect my 70-20-10 and so on. I'm already looking forward to my new meeting, so I'm excited about that for the 15th on Birmingham. But yeah, one thing I want to say is, honestly speaking, evolution rekindled my fire, because seeing people, having fellow evolutionists who are as committed, who have same passion as me and have same ambition as me and same love for Virgin Media as me, just gave me a wake-up call. So thank you for that. And I'm looking to get to know you guys even more when I see you next time. Other than that, I'm going to pass the baton to Matt. Yes, so Matt, make sure you carry the baton with pride. This is the Virgin Zing, and
Shink to the thing.
I think
You got a message, John?
John, you wanna? John, Virgin Media?
Virgin?
Virgin Media?
Do you like it?
Awesome. All
That's what
right,
I'd like
guys.
to hear, yeah?
We are
Thank you,
out.
John.
Hi everyone, thanks Hamza for the nomination. Just start by saying great to meet everybody on the course on the last session. I also want to thank Stephen, Anna and Lucy as well, because I went thinking it could be a bit like being back at school, but it wasn't. It was totally the opposite. We had a great time, we learnt a lot and we had fun with it as well, so that was all good, and looking forward to the next one as well. Since we all last met up, I've settled in now to my spotter's role. Even though I knew quite a bit about it already, there's still things that I needed to learn, but it's going really well. It's worked out quite nicely when we're doing this course and going into that with that role, because we've actually got a lad called Damon on our team that's looking after Doncaster now. He's come straight from the doors. He's never done any of the spotting role before, so I've took him under my wing as a bit of an understudy, and I've been able to coach him with this as well. Now I've used the Honey and Mumford quiz. I made a prediction before I did it as well. I thought it'd be an activist, and it turned out after doing the quiz that it was. So it just wants to get straight on with it. So I've sent him all the links to all the construction forms where you get your leads and everything like that. And rather than me showing him what to do and going through it and him watching me, I just got him sat down and he just dived straight in, and we're eager to get on with it and learn. So we've gone through everything. I've been out on jobs with him as well. We've discussed how things might go in. So I've just been coaching him with that. Just want to say, just wrap it up there really. Looking forward to next week and what the course has got to offer, and seeing everyone again. I now nominate Neil.
Hi guys, hope you're all well. You're having a great start to 2019 and you finished 2018 strongly too, and got where you needed to be. It's a shame we had to have our training moved back to January, but obviously I think it helped me massively that one extra day in December get to where I needed to be, so I'm grateful for that, to be fair. But looking forward to seeing you all on Tuesday. Thanks for the nomination as well, Matt. I had a feeling you were going to nominate me. I don't know why, but there you go. Just since we last met up in November, I've implemented obviously the learning styles were very interesting learning moment for myself. It was good to learn all about the new learning styles, which I didn't know anything about, obviously. It gave me a few surprises really. One with myself. I thought I was going to be more of a reflector, and it turned out as a pragmatist, which, reading up about that, it suggests that obviously I can lose patience in lengthy conversations. That's one of the things that, since learning about it, I've realised I do that a lot. So when I'm like at the door and what have you, during a long conversation, or if the customer's putting a point across and what have you, I do have a tendency to lose patience and butt in. Normally when I'm getting a sniff of a sale, or if I think they're going to come out with an objection, I might butt in. I do that a lot. So it must be very annoying to a customer. So I've learnt now to be a lot more relaxed at the door. It's definitely helped me in the last couple of months. So I need to stick with that and keep that on my mind and keep doing it, because there's nothing worse than butting in when a customer's speaking and what have you. So it's definitely helped me there. And another surprise that it got me with was when I sent the quiz to one of the new starters. Well, I say new starters, it's been there nearly a year, but it does ring me about 4 or 5 times a day for help. So it feels like a new starter to me. But I thought he was going to be an activist, and he ended up being a theorist. So I suppose that's helped me in a way, teach him and learn him stuff, because obviously maybe he's not grasping the way that I'm teaching him stuff, hence why he keeps ringing me a lot. So it's made me be more towards his learning style when trying to help him, which I think will help him a lot better in the long run and make him understand things better, the way I put it across to him. So with regards to my manager's let me do the figures, and I think he's enjoyed the fact that I'm asking to do more stuff, because obviously then he'll have a bit more free time to do what he needs to do, because he seems like a very busy man. So I'm looking forward to getting more jobs off him in the future to help me on my journey. I've definitely been mithering him about how to fill in forms and what he does and why he does them and things like that. So I'm interested to know how he does everything really. So I'm looking forward to getting more info off him. And that's it. I'd normally nominate somebody else now, but obviously there's only a few people left. So I'm looking forward to seeing your guys' videos, and I look forward to seeing you on shows. Thank you.
Hi everyone, hope you had a good Christmas and the New Year's treating you well. Starting off in a similar fashion to everyone else, thank you Stephen, Lucy, Anna for all your help so far and sharing all your knowledge, and obviously you guys for creating such a good team atmosphere. In terms of what I've put into practice so far then, I've tried to incorporate everything as much as possible really, so we had to come up with an incentive for the partners we work with for Q1. So I used the mind map exercise and came up with a few different ideas, and that's something that I'll definitely be using going forward. Really love the creative side and letting yourself go with that. 70, 20, 10, as I spoke to Stephen about on the Vilt call, as simple as it is, I've found it such an eye-opener just to sort of talk about it and realise that the majority of learning is all outside the classroom. So on a personal level, I've used that in everything, work, outside of work, the lot, and will continue to do so going forward. The Honey and Mumford learning style, I had a new starter. Well, it's a new starter. She was covering for someone on maternity, a lady called Molly at Stoneacre Properties, and needed to go through some training with her. Went through the test and it turned out she was an activist. Now, normally I would go through the portal, show them what to do. With this, I changed it up a bit and I sort of logged her in and let her play around, put a test lead through, navigate through the site herself, which she seemed to be really happy with. From there, I would normally sort of go into set an objection, handling things. With this, I switched it again, just sort of, we went through some brainstorming. I asked her what she might commonly come across, how she would overcome that herself. Yeah, overall really positive impacts. Leads have grown since she started, in contact with her regularly, and she's very comfortable, hasn't really come to me with any issues so far, and higher conversion of those leads as well. So again, something as little as taking 30 seconds, a minute, just to sort of take that time and work out what learning style someone is, has had such a positive impact. And yeah, I won't nominate anyone because we're all sending them now, but I'll see you on the 15th.
Hey ladies and gents, good evening. First off, can I just say a massive thank you to Steve, Lucy and Anna for making us all feel welcome. It was a great first day and it was fantastic meeting you all, and I obviously look forward to working with you all in the future as well. From the course, so continuing from the course, the first week back I met up with one of my former colleagues called Jason McCauley. He was struggling a bit with his monthly target, so I did the Honey and Mumford test with him. He found out he was a theorist, and basically he liked to plan his day out from start to finish, and there was kind of no B plan. So if plan A didn't work, he struggled and he wasn't hitting target, and he was kind of banged his head against the wall. So I did a Honey and Mumford test with him. Yeah, it come out he was a theorist, obviously. So I give him 10 minutes to kind of work out a plan for himself, and I sat down with him, and just we built on from what he thought was best for himself, which was basically be a bit more of an activist, just go with the flow. He already had his knock, he knew what he was doing, so he ended up going out, just spending more time on the field, talking to more people, knocking more doors, and by the end of the month, he actually overachieved. So he did the same thing with a number of his colleagues, and he said it worked well for others as well. So yeah, that's what I took from the course. I've just been a bit busy since, really. So yeah, enjoyed the first day of the course. Looking forward to see what the future brings. look forward to meeting you all. Andy, love the old goatee thing you had going on, so I might rock that on the next session. And I know we're not doing nominees, but I'd like to nominate Josh, just because I'd like to make him cry one more time. All the best, guys. Pleasure.
Guys, hope you're all well. First off, I'd like to just say how much I really enjoyed the first session that we had together. It was really enlightening to learn lots of little things about myself as much as everyone else. Great to get to know you all, and just to figure out how I learn as well, but how other people learn. So we're learning about ourselves as much as we are other people. And I mean, over the course of the last, well, it's been 2 months now since we had the meeting, but I've tried to implement the learning styles in my day-to-day life. So it's not just at work, although that's been really, really helpful. It's more your relationships that you have with everyone. So whether it be your missus at home or someone else or your group of friends, once you can figure out how their learning style is, I've certainly found it a lot easier. So if I'm trying to get a point across to a friend, for an example, and we're having a debate, I'll take a step back and I'll think, you know, what is your learning style? Are you a pragmatist? Are you this? And then I can sort of use the way that they think to get my point across a little bit better. So it does work a hell of a lot better. And it's something I've been able to use on a day-to-day basis. I mean, just from a work perspective, there was one guy in my team who was struggling for deals a little bit, and I've always gone out and tried to help him and get to grips with it. And my response has always been, quick, let's get out there and pitch, try this, try this. And obviously I've always done that just because I'm a pragmatist, and I've always just dived head on in and thought this is going to work for everyone. Well, obviously, what we've learned from there is that doesn't actually work for everyone, and other people need to take a step back and try and think about things. So I've now had to modify what I'm doing and take a few steps back and think what's going to work better for this guy. So we've had discussions now. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? How are we going to improve there? And they give you the answers and they think about it. And then when it comes into putting it into practical use, the whole scenario works a lot better. So you've just got to, what I've learned is you've got to think what other people are as much as what you are. And just because I'm this way doesn't mean that it will be for other people. I mean, with the Honey and Mumford test, I actually decided to make my missus do it. And as I expected, you know, the results were what they were. And I've just managed to, again, think all the time when we're having an argument or a debate, think what is your style here? How do you think about things? And then obviously sometimes it's a case of taking a step back and just using that. And the things we've took from that on a day-to-day basis are really good. So, I mean, there's lots of advantages if you just take a step back and think of people's different characteristics and how they blend and just be a little bit more wise to it all, rather than just, again, for me, just because I'm a pragmatist, just diving straight in. I mean, another thing is with the 70-20-10, I've tried to do some e-reading at night on iMentor and just take on board what it says then, and the following day think about how I can implement this into the day-to-day running of everything. So, I mean, there's lots of things that you can take from it, and it's just really about trying to put it into practical use on a day-to-day basis. As I said, we've got our meeting on Tuesday, and I can't wait to have another session and learn a lot more. So, absolutely great. Can't wait to see you all again, guys. Thanks very much for the time. It's been great seeing all your videos come through. Catch you all soon. Thanks very much. Bye.
Good morning, everyone. Just would like to start off by saying how much I enjoyed the course we had the other month. I found it quite enlightening. Also particularly want to thank Anna and Steve and Lucy, and certainly my fellow evolutionaries, for creating such a warm and healthy environment for us all to learn and progressing. I took 3 things away from the course, the day really. One is the need to develop my public speaking and speaking among a group. Secondly, the Honey and Mumford learning styles, and obviously thirdly the 70-20-10 principle of how we learn. In terms of group and public speaking, what I've done is I attended an Eve presentation along with Andy and another colleague. We then took the team and reproduced the presentation to the whole team. It gave us an opportunity to get embroiled in a group discussion, and it was well received. In terms of the Honey and Mumford training learning principles, I've done the actual questionnaire and the course with 7 people. I just felt that the more I shared it and practiced it, the more relevant, the more I would understand it. On that, I presented to 4 people at the same time, so that gave me an opportunity to present to a group of people. I did the module exactly as we did it on the course. Next month I'll be holding the team meeting. Next Friday I'll be holding the audio conference call for the team. And also I've discussed with the manager a little project where I'll do a presentation through a workshop for the whole team, and the theme's going to be coping strategies and tools that we can use to help when things aren't going so well, because some members of the team particularly struggle at that time. A couple of things that's happened peripherally. What I have realised that we do all have different learning styles, and that I need to be myself a little bit more empathetic for those that are not a reflector or a theorist like myself, that do not enjoy the class discussions. They probably enjoy more the amoeba to Elvis Presley sort of exercises, which to be fair was completely out of my comfort zone, because really, you know, I'm not a great pretender, and the whole exercise just left me all shook up. But yeah, looking forward to the next course. See you guys soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you're doing very well. Many thanks to Lucy, Steve and Anna for the time of the day. It was quite a productive session of the day, whether it is learning styles or personal development plans or 720 model. Quite productive in day-to-day life as well. But basically the learning style, I found it very attractive. I found out my one to be pragmatic. I've done the same thing with one of my new reps, Jatin, and he comes out to be pragmatic, and since then we done the learning style for him. He has changed a lot, have been quite productive as well, because what it is, I've been working for a company for a while now. I'm expecting the new reps in the same way, they're absorbing the information in the same sort of wavelength, but then when I found out he comes out to be theorist, then I know I need to step back and then wait for the results. That's what I've done. So I gave him information, not too much, and give him some time to adapt the information and applying the real world. And I got the results, which is quite impressive, and I got a positive feedback from the reps. I'm definitely going to use it again with another reps, and I think it's quite good to know someone learning style, and you can adapt accordingly and get the best results out of it. So I'm really looking forward for the next session, which is next week, and hope you see you then. Thank you very much. Bye.
Hey everyone, hope you had a nice Christmas. It's been great watching all your videos. Sorry mine is a little bit so late, but with everything that's going on, I haven't been able to get a chance to do it. But I've watched all of yours. Obviously you've done some great videos, so mine's not going to live up to most of those, to be fair. The biggest thing that I've taken from the first course, the first day of the course, shall I say, everyone is great. You know, I was a little bit apprehensive with the fact that I'm probably one of the youngest there, one that's been with the company probably the least, but I'm starting to feel like I belong in there a little bit better now. And obviously we sorted out learning our own learning styles more than anything, and that's helped me in a lot of different places. I've done it with one of the new starters, Shan, and he came out with a result which we didn't expect at all, and we were both as shocked as he was. Most of our time together was out in the field doing stuff, but not so much actually knocking the doors, more so going through what he's done in the past, what we could do in the future, which is actually my learning style as a reflector. We found out he was more of an activist, so we went out into the field. He watched what I was doing, he was doing it, I was giving him feedback on the spot, and his stats have improved greatly. He's bringing in the sales, he's bringing in the sims, he feels a lot better in himself and a lot more comfortable, and I feel a lot better teaching him as well. So obviously there's only going to be a certain amount I can show him, but when it comes to his learning style, that's helped me greatly. With my own learning style, I felt that it's helped me not only in work, where I've sat back and I've reflected on some of the stuff that I've done such as when I was covering the team, or even if it's just helping a new start, I've reflected on what I've done badly, but also what I've done good as well. Not just in terms of work, it's actually helped me outside of work as well, as I like to fill my time up with little hobbies such as obviously I like gaming and stuff like that, but from that then I've sort of learned a little bit of leather working, which sounds terrible now I say it out loud, but it's helped me with the first couple of ones that I did, like some little bags and stuff like that. I just went and done it, hope for the best, and not really learned from it. Where I sat back, looked at a few YouTube tutorials, looked at a few books, stuff like that, and now I've got a little phone case, shall I say. It's a bag. But thank you very much for watching my video, and I can't wait to see you all on Tuesday. Thank you. Bye-bye.